So remember this mouse, the Logitech MX3, the mouse that you see on every textbook table, and they've sworn by it, saying that it's the best productivity mouse out there. And I think they're right, because I've been using this mouse for the past 8 months, and it's the best mouse out there. But what happens if you want something like this, but you're unable to pay the 150k naira that would cost you to get this mouse? But you want similar function, you want similar quality, and you want a mouse from the same brand. This is what I think you should get. This is, I think, the MX3 closest product. So this right here is Logitech M720. It's also called the Triathlon, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's a smaller mouse compared to the MX3 or the MX4, but like I said, it does similar functions. I mean, aside from the basic thing that the mouse does anyway, but it has other similar, extra functions that Logitech M720 does have. For build quality, it feels good. It doesn't feel cheap. It's plastic still on this side, but on this other side, it has like a rubber grippy thingy, which over time could wear and tear. But I mean, I don't see that happening anytime soon. So let's go over, the buttons that you have on this mouse. Like every other mouse, you have obviously the right click, and then you have the left click, then you have the middle scroll wheel. Now, just like the MX3, you should click on this button right here. You can activate ratchet mode, or you can also click in again and you can activate the free spin mode, which allows you to spin about 1,000 pages in 2 seconds according to Logitech. As you can see, it's still spinning pretty much. It also has a button on the side, 3 buttons at the side. And what these buttons do for you, again, like a conventional mouse, is to go back, go front, and the third button is how you use this to put it in parry mode. Now, having in mind that, again, this mouse, like the MX3, can pair to 3 different devices, and all you have to do to switch between this device is just by clicking this button here, and then you can have it switch to, any of the device that you've connected it to. But if you want to connect this mouse to any device, for instance, what you have to do is once you have it on the number you want to connect it to, then you press and hold until that number starts to blink really fast, and that tells you that it's in parry mode. And so you want to go over to your computer and you can then pair it, with this mouse. Now, also know that this mouse can be paired on macOS as well as Windows, and it can also be paired on your iPad. However, you would not be able to have the customizable function as you would be able to have on your Mac or on your Windows. Like the MX3, all of its buttons here that I've spoken about are customizable. You can use the Logitech app, which is called Logic Flow Plus, to be able to customize all of these and change the functions to whatever it is you want them to do. Now, another button that this mouse has that the MX3 also have is a small button at the side that I would like to call the gesture button. Now, you can also customize this button to do whatever you want it to do, but on default for macOS, it just takes you to your home screen, and your home screen where you can choose whatever windows you want to be on as at the time. Unlike the MX3, it's not rechargeable. It uses a battery, and it uses just one battery. However, if you look at it, you see this is the battery that it comes with, and according to Logitech, this battery would last you 24 months. We're looking at one battery for 2 years usage. I think that's a good deal. And once it's done, or once it's probably drained out, you can just swap this battery for any other battery that you want, and it will still give you that same 12-month battery. It doesn't have to be on a 12-month battery capacity. It doesn't have to be with the same battery that it came with. It can be any battery. That's because Logitech uses a particular Bluetooth system that allows your mouse not to consume so much power as opposed to every other brand out there. Now, it also comes with a dongle, by the way. This is in case you want to connect this using the dongle. If you don't know, it's the Bluetooth. This supposed to give you better connectivity and not have any lags when you're using the mouse. And right here is obviously when you have the on and the off button. Like the MX3, yeah, it also has a scroll wheel, a side scroll wheel. Now, with the MX3, you have the scroll wheel on this side, but with this guy, you have it on here. So if you click on this, it means that you're going sideways, and if you click this way, it means you're coming over to the right. However, I find that it's not as smooth as the MX3 side scroll wheel. That's a bit more smooth, and that's a bit more smooth, as I can say pretty much. This works, but it's a bit, how you cannot just slightly like go slowly on the side. With this, it just kind of goes like rushes through, your slideshows or whatever you want to do with it, but it's not smooth. It's not as smooth as the MX Master 3, but you can still go left and right. For those times when you have to edit on Resolve or Premiere Pro, for those of you that use Premiere Pro, you still have the function of going side, left, with your what's it called now? A timeline. One thing I like about this mouse that the MX Master 3 does not have, well, it does have it, but it's not placed in the same way, are these buttons. You see these buttons that let you change your mouse selections. I like that it's here and not under the mouse. Unlike the MX Master 3, you have to always go underneath the mouse. That is the only time you're able to, change your thingy, so you have to just lift and change. But with this guy, you don't have to do that. You just need to press the button on here and you can easily change that. This is smaller than the MX Master 3 if you look at it in the comparison. So if you see them side by side, this is really small. So if you have a smaller hand, this will sit well, but if you have a bigger hand, it means that you will have problem with this part of your palm touching your table board. That's not a big of a problem because you can just get wrist rest and just put your wrist on top. But for those that have smaller hands, I think this might be a good alternative, than the MX Master 3. So just like the MX Master 3, this mouse does not come for people that are left-handed. Sorry about that. If you're left-handed, you would not be able to use this mouse. You may not be able to use this mouse, except of course you're right-handed. So I don't know why they do it that way, but it is what it is, guys. So apologies to all the left-handed people out there. So this mouse also is still a bit clicky, like the MX Master 3. You can still hear. So it's not quiet. It's not like the MX Master 3S or the MX Master 4 that are quiet. You will still be able to hear this clicky sound. So if you're doing video tutorials or you're having classes online, just know that your student will hear you when you click your mouse. For some people that bothers them, for some people it doesn't bother them. It doesn't bother me, but it's something to take note of if that interests you. For the price point, how much does this cost? In Nigeria, this will take you back around 50K. In some places 55, some places 60K, depending on who you're buying from. And I think it's a fraction of the price for the MX Master 3 because this currently is going for around say 100, 120K, while the MX Master 3S is going for 150K. This is 50K. This is cheaper than this. Same build quality if you ask me, but obviously bigger, smaller, a lot of more functions in terms of this scroll wheel that makes it very, very, this is the reason why I will buy this mouse, to be honest. See this scroll wheel here? Is the only reason why we buy this mouse, to be honest, nothing else. So who is this mouse for pretty much? I think this is for anybody who is trying to get into the Logitech ecosystem and have 50K to spare. I mean, because there are cheaper Logitech mounts out there. There are mounts that are 7K, there are mounts that are 16K, there are mounts that are 20K. But if you want to get into the ecosystem of Logitech and you have 50K to spare and you don't mind spending that alone on a mouse, I think this is one option that you should take a look at and you should invest your money in. From my experience, this mouse tends to last a lot longer, than every other mouse that I've used out there. I've used several mounts and they usually just last 3 or 4 months and they start to give problem. I have been using this one for almost 6 months, even up to a year now, and it's still going strong. I charge it only once a month, once in 6 months. Actually, it's the time I get to charge this. So I believe Logitech when they say that this battery will last you 2 years, because this lasts me at least easy 6 months on a single charge, and I didn't buy it brand new. I got this fairly used for 60K. The fairly use of this, in case you're wondering, I've seen that on GG, some people sell it for around 25K, some 30K, but then again, if you're interested in that, you can go on GG and check as well. But for the brand new one, just budget 50K and above to be able to get this mouse.